Disposable masks are not only ruining your face, but they are also ruining the planet in huge proportions at the same time. Let me explain how and how much. According to National Geographic, 129 billion masks a month are used globally. That translates into 3 million face masks used per minute. A separate study by the National Center for Biotechnology Information reports that 3.4 billion face masks, that's right, with a B, are discarded every day, or 2.4 million a minute. We'll come back to that stat later. They may be called disposable because they're cheap enough to be used once and then thrown away, but there's a hitch. They just don't go away. So then where do they go? Face masks are not recyclable in most municipal systems. Masks contain a mix of paper and polymers, including polypropylene and polyester, that can't be separated into pure streams of single materials for recycling. They're also so small that they get caught in the recycling machinery, causing breakdowns. So they shouldn't be added to your household recycling. Since they can't be recycled, they end up getting incinerated, dumped in our landfills and seas, making the world's already huge garbage problem worse. None of these options are good. Each year, nations already generate 1.3 billion tons of waste and growing. That amount is expected to soar to 4 billion tons by the year 2100. Incineration is more polluting than landfills. Incinerators don't avoid landfills. For every 100 tons of garbage burned, 30 tons becomes toxic ash that goes into the landfill. The other 70 tons don't turn into energy, but become air pollution. In addition to the landfills, 5 giant garbage patches exist in our seas that have become home to 8 million tons of plastic and marine debris each year. An example of the magnitude is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch off the U.S. coast of California, covering an estimated 1.6 million square kilometers, an area twice the size of the state of Texas or 3 times the size of France. According to NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, all marine debris comes from people like you and me, with most of it originating on land and entering the ocean through littering, poor waste management practices, stormwater drainage, and extreme natural events such as tsunamis and hurricanes. Marine debris is also leaked, spilled, pumped, and dumped into the sea. Ocean Conservancy claims that China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, here where I live, and Vietnam are spewing out as much as 60% of the waste that enters the world's seas. Face masks are compounding these already massive problems, and you can help it. People think face masks as paper and less harmful to the environment, but they aren't. Face masks are made from multiple plastic fibers, primarily polypropylene, that will remain in the environment for decades, possibly centuries, fragmenting into smaller and smaller micro and nanoplastics. A single face mask can release as many as 173,000 microfibers per day into the seas, according to a study in Environmental Advances. One of the problems is our garbage is out of sight in our seas and landfills, so it's out of mind. We are bringing this serious problem to your attention. Hopefully you will help. If you don't, who will? Another consequence of face mask garbage is the dangers they present to wildlife who stumble upon them in our landfills and litter. There are widespread reports of birds being entangled in masks, especially the ear loops. An American robin appears to have died after becoming entangled in a face mask in Canada. A young gull was found walking with a face mask tangled around its legs, and a peregrine falcon with its talons entangled in a face mask, both in the UK. In Italy, baby swans observed with face masks around their beaks and a mallard with a mask hanging around its neck. The problem's just not limited to birds. Fish and monkeys and much other wildlife are also affected. The list goes on and on. terrible unintended consequences from the use of disposable face masks, and you can help it or not. Let me add some scale to the impact of disposable masks on this worldwide garbage dilemma. There are various types of disposable masks, such as surgical masks, N95 and KN95 masks, all at varying weights and sizes. Surgical masks are the most prevalent of the disposable group. For simplicity, in these examples, we'll assume all masks are surgical masks. However, it should be noted that respirators and KN95 masks, for the most part, are larger and about twice as heavy as surgical masks. They also have larger nose pieces and much stronger ear loops, so they create an even larger problem. Surgical masks typically weigh 3 to 4 grams depending on the number of layers and quality of the mask. At 3.5 grams per average mask, at 2.5 million masks per minute disposed, that equates to over 12 million kilograms of surgical mask garbage per day. Over 12 million kilograms per day, every day. And you can help it or not. Rather than weight, let's evaluate the area they may occupy. A new surgical mask is typically 95 millimeters tall and 175 millimeters wide. But that isn't the real size. Surgical masks are pleated, so they can expand over larger faces. When they're expanded during use, then discarded, they're actually 165 millimeters tall, and they're 3 layers thick, potentially covering an even larger area. At 2.4 million masks per minute, the unpleated surgical mask would cover 99.8 square kilometers each day, roughly enough to cover the 724 square kilometers of the country of Singapore in just 7 days. And you can help it or not. You get the point. It's a lot of garbage to deal with and wildlife to get entangled in. But now let me show you how masks with replaceable filters are so much better for the environment than disposable masks, so you can help it. There are 3 key factors that make masks with replaceable filters much less damaging to the environment and wildlife. 1. There is considerably less filter material used and discarded per mask. 2. 30 centimeters of ear loops are on each disposable mask, or more in the case of N95 and KN95 masks. On each mask with disposable filters, like the STYLESEAL Pro, the ear loops are located on the mask, not the filter. They're not discarded with each use, only 1 pair per year. 3. Also, 12.5 centimeters of nose piece are on each disposable mask. On most masks with disposable filters, like the STYLESEAL Pro, the nose pieces are located on each STYLESEAL mask, not the filter. They are also not discarded with each use. Now I'll show you how big of a difference those 3 simple factors can make to the environment and wildlife. To do so, we'll make the following assumptions. Masks are only worn until they are no longer effective, such as 1 day for a surgical mask as they're recommended to be used. All STYLESEAL masks are STYLESEAL Pro large size. STYLESEAL mask lasts for 1 year. 2.4 million masks are discarded per minute and become garbage. The exact amount isn't the issue, whether the amount is 3.4 million, 2.4 million, or 1 million per minute. That's not the point. The point is, no matter what the amount, it's a lot, and we can do something about it. First, let's discuss the amount of filter material saved by using masks with replaceable filters. STYLESEAL Pro filters are installed behind a soft foam liner, so the filter doesn't touch the face and is not exposed to the dirt and sweat on your face. Since they're farther from your face, they're less affected by condensation. As a result, the filters will last much longer than surgical masks. Since the filter is behind the mask, there's also a pre-filtering of large particles by the mask fabric on the outside, further extending the life of the filter. So if a surgical mask would last 1 day, A replaceable filter that doesn't get wet and less dirty would last at least 2 days and probably several more. This would reduce the filter garbage by at least half, while also providing better performance. Surgical masks, when unpleated, cover an area of 289 square centimeters. STYLESEAL Pro large filters are 206 square centimeters, which saves 83 square centimeters per filter, or another 29% or more, actually much more. If the 3 surgical mask layers are considered, they are 867 square centimeters and just not 289 square centimeters. STYLESEAL filter layers are bound together and will not separate. Also, since STYLESEAL Pro filters are also offered in small, medium, medium plus, and XL sizes, on average, they would be smaller than a large size mask. Also, if using a STYLESEAL air mask, the pair of air filters are far smaller, only 60 centimeters squared. Just as a double check, let's look at the garbage weight comparison. An average surgical mask weight is approximately 3.5 grams. So at 2.4 million masks per minute discarded, that's over 12 million kilograms thrown out per day. STYLESEAL large filters on average weigh 2.5 grams. Then at 1.2 million per minute, since there are only half as many to be discarded, that's 4.32 million kilograms, or 7.8 kilograms less every day, or 64% less garbage. That's the equivalent of the weight of the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier, 99 million kilograms, that would be saved in less than 13 days. Actually, since the filters could last up to 5 times longer than disposable masks, as you can see in the spreadsheet, only 480,000 masks are discarded per minute, saving over 10 million kilograms of trash per day, or nearly 86%, just by switching to masks with replaceable filters that last longer while working better. Each surgical mask has approximately 30 centimeters of ear loop per mask, or over 1 million kilometers per day discarded. That would encircle the globe 25 times per day. No wonder wild birds are getting entangled. Using STYLESEAL masks with replaceable filters, there would only be 1 pair of ear loops discarded per year. Also, each surgical mask has approximately 12.5 centimeters of nose piece per mask, or 432,000 kilometers discarded each day, enough to encircle the globe over 10 times each day. Or at 0.35 grams each, this equates to over 1.2 million kilograms per day, just to those little nose pieces. Again, with a STYLESEAL mask with replaceable filters, there only be but 1 or 2 nose pieces discarded per year. STYLESEAL Pro offers 2 nose pieces for a tighter seal. 1 can be eliminated if you so desire. The benefits of masks with disposable filters provide a significant and immediate improvement to the environment and wildlife. A summary of these significant benefits are that 50% of the filter garbage and possibly up to 80% or more is saved because the STYLESEAL replaceable filters are effective much longer. Another 29% or more in filter garbage is saved since the STYLESEAL filters are smaller. Since when using replaceable filters, we use less filters and they are smaller, we discard over 7 million kilograms less each day, or 64% less garbage. The equivalent of the weight of the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier would be saved every 8 to 13 days. We would save over 1 million kilometers of ear loop and 432,000 kilometers of nose piece each day, which is also less to get entangled in our wildlife or end up in their nests, or a combined 2.7 million kilograms of ear loop saved per day from our landfills and seas. The equivalent weight of the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier would be saved in less than 35 days. The total impact of switching to replaceable filters would be the reduction of rubbish equivalent to the weight of 40 USS Nimitz aircraft carriers every year or more. All that reduced stress on the environment simply by switching from these to this. If that isn't proof of the significant savings of the planet by simply switching to masks with replaceable filters, I don't know what is. And you can help it or not.